What we have done now is greatly expand that, which has been through the efforts of AT&T, which has done a great job and been a great partner to us in putting this together. This is a first. It's the first time in history any party's convention was broadcast live over the internet, and so it was a massive undertaking, and we are very grateful to AT&T for the job that they've done, and to give you a demonstration and answer questions that go beyond point and click. We will now have the head of the project for AT&T, Christine Meyers, who's director of the AT&T Republican National Convention Internet team, and Michael Ullman, who's the AT&T Senior Internet Specialist. If they'll come up here, I'll get out of the way.
Thank you, Haley, and welcome everyone. As Haley said, this is a first. AT&T, along with the Committee on Arrangements, has created for the Republican National Convention an unprecedented means for reaching out and touching and interacting with America and the world. Between now and August 15th, people across the street, across the nation, and around the planet will be able to get news and views of this important political gathering in ways that were much beyond our
lawmakers or people that you see on TV every day. It's going to be about real Americans and how they've overcome problems in their lives, and how what the Republican agenda is offering them can help them in the future. So what we want to do with this and with some of the other
the political party and of the political system, or even download a Bob Dole screensaver. The design and content of the Republican Convention site will provide the public a vastly greater amount of information than has ever been delivered in previous conventions. So while you're sitting there watching on your TV, you can dial up your computer and find out where we are in the schedule, a bio of the speaker, and what comes next. Knowledge is power. Through this internet page, we will bring people into this historic event and allow them to tap into this energy. I'd like to take a moment to thank Haley and his convention team for their help and this opportunity. Participating in another first for AT&T is a genuine thrill for me and for my team. Lastly, I must say how proud I am of Michael Ullman, the AT&T Internet Specialist who designed this page. His enthusiasm and his creativity has carried this project from a concept just 6 months ago to one that will set a standard for all conventions to come. And with that, I'd like to turn this over to Michael Ullman so he can demonstrate the 1996 Republican Convention site.
I'd like to thank you all for being here and reiterate Christine's remarks. It's been an interesting while working with the Republican National Committee and the convention folks. It's been quite a learning experience, a chance to meet a lot of great people and really see into the political process as it occurs today. What's interesting is that due to the profound impact that the internet has, its reach today, we see this as a pivotal change in the American process itself. What I'm going to do is take a minute to run you through some of the exciting features we've built into this convention website, give you a sense of what you'll be able to do in participating in the convention. At that point, then, we'd like to take some questions, technical and otherwise, and hopefully you all will get a chance to get online with us. When you reach the convention website, you'll be greeted by a number of areas that will provide an unprecedented depth and breadth of information. Within the newsstand area, we'll have press releases, party information, convention news that will be carried on the site right after it happens. We'll have speeches posted to the internet within minutes of when they're given, as well as a speech archive that allows us to go back and look at the speeches after they've occurred. As Haley mentioned, there's a strong emphasis on the Young Voter Program. In an effort to bring the folks who are out on the internet into the convention itself, there's a tremendous amount of information focused on the young voters. In fact, we've even included a trivia contest. And I'll say that working with the trivia buffs at the RNC has been quite an experience. There'll be prizes given away daily from the internet site. We'll post the names of the winners, the folks who can manage to answer all the questions correctly. I have yet to be able to do that. And one of the more exciting areas, the 96 Live area. AT&T's objective in working with the RNC and working with the Committee on Arrangements was to take their idea of extending the convention beyond the convention walls and open it up to the public, to provide an event that is both inclusive and widespread. To that end, there will be live video throughout the convention of the proceedings, the things that are going on, everything as if you were there at the convention itself. This will be available both to folks in America that have internet access as well as across the world. We have a first on this site as well, something we're calling floor phone, where we have specially designated people roaming the floor of the convention with cellular phones. They'll be dialing special numbers with codes we've given them and approaching newsmakers, delegates, and participants in the site, where they'll be able to hand them a phone, have them speak a message right up to the website that you'll be able to hear in near real time. And one of the primary focuses is our forum rooms. Here we'll have live interaction between the folks that are out on the internet as well as the folks here. There'll be a full schedule of discussion areas where people can exchange ideas, talk with one another, and in fact interact with the luminaries and newsmakers that are at the convention itself. The party page will provide a wealth of information about the party itself, GOP history, information from the chairman, Haley Barbour, and Evelyn McPhail, other notables that will be at the convention. And of course, the next best thing to being there is the gift shop that you see around you in the convention center itself. Of course, there's a Bob Dole area with a wealth of information on Bob Dole himself. There'll be speeches, quotes, information as it occurs before the convention, during convention week itself. Unless you get lost in the vast array of information we have here, we've put a number of features to allow folks to see what all the site has to offer and to be able to get to any part of it very simply. Our objective in producing this site was to create one that's both accessible and easy to use while providing a wealth of information and an inclusive experience for folks that can't get to San Diego, to allow them to see the sights and sounds of the convention themselves. It's been a pleasure working with the convention committees, the folks within the RNC putting this together, and it's been a learning experience for us. To support the kind of traffic and the kind of participation we're anticipating, as Haley mentioned, millions of people who are going to come to this site, AT&T has built what is one of the largest and most sophisticated websites ever created. In addition, we'll be giving out thousands of internet accounts at the convention, customized for the Republican National Convention, to allow folks to get right into the midst of things. We would invite you all to participate with us. We have a demo set up nearby where you can look at the site closer. We'll take questions afterwards, and we'll see you all online. Thank you very much.
If I may, let me ask it. First, let's take any questions anybody has about the site, and then we'll be glad to take any questions about anything else.
Is this site up yet? Is it actually on the internet yet?
My computer charger.
Yes, thank you, Haley. The site is up. It is timed to coincide with the end of this press conference. So shortly after we convene here, you will be able to go to the site. You'll be able to see the sights and sounds, participate in some of the activities there. Certain activities won't be available until convention week, like video of the proceedings, which haven't occurred yet, but the site is up and live after this press conference.
What does the Bob Dole screensaver look like?
Looks a lot like Bob Dole. We've tried to make this both an informational site as well as a place that's fun to be, and a place where you can enjoy yourself, do some fun things around politics and the Republican Party in general. There are things that you can download to put on your computer, fun things like screensavers of Bob Dole, trivia contests, things aimed at making this a fun place to be and a worthwhile experience.
You said it's going to be available for any internet users. How about foreign languages, like Spanish, close on there?
The site today does not support foreign languages, but it will be available to every country that can get internet access.
How many people are you expecting online? Is there going to be a problem with too many people going on at the same time?
We've built this site to very, very high standards in anticipation of having upwards of 1 million users per day, both up to and throughout the convention. The site will support over 1 million users simultaneously.
Question for Haley Barbour. Presumably this website will be a forum for lively debate on the abortion issue. And if this afternoon at the platform hearings the pro-life people will succeed in excising the word abortion from the tolerance clause, how big a setback will that be for Bob?
Let me do this. Let me see if there are any more questions about the website. Then I'll be glad. Then I'll be glad to take even thinly veiled, but hardly disguised questions about other things. Yeah. Well, you got an internet question? Okay.
Are they going to be as delivered or as prepared?
The intent is to have them be an accurate reflection of what was actually given at the convention.
Lapse time will be between when someone steps off the podium and when it goes up online?
Our target objective is minutes.
59 minutes and it's an hour. I mean, are we paying less than?
I would say it's likely to be closer to 3 to 5 minutes.
How's the voting process going to work for the delegates on the floor? Is it going to go through the webpage?
No, it won't be. The electronic voting is a separate issue and does not interact with the internet.
Are the forums going to be open forums? Are they going to be moderated or edited in any way?
The forums will be moderated to ensure that there's a measure of decorum, that there's not any folks getting in the way of people who want a fair exchange of ideas. They will not be censored. They will be moderated.
Is there going to be anyone from the RNC on the listening end of these forums, or is this just going to be a lot of noise like you might see in AOL?
There will be folks from the RNC participating in the chat, as well as newsmakers on various schedules.
IBM got a real black eye from its handling of information flow for the Olympics. How is AT&T going to cope with the flow?
We've put together, certainly in the time I've been at AT&T, the strongest team of technical people. We've built a structure that has a tremendous measure of redundancy and backup systems built into it. We anticipate that this will be a rousing success, and folks that want to get on and participate will have an easy time at it.
Do you have a backup plan if things start to go haywire?
We've got probably a dozen backup plans.
The video looks jerky or stop and start. Is that the way it's going to be, or is it going to be like watching TV?
We'll be broadcasting video provided by GOP TV. The folks that are connecting and logging in to see the video, the performance that they get will be largely dependent on their connection. Folks with a modem will generally see a slower picture than folks maybe in an office or at a university that have a higher speed connection.
Are you serious? 1 billion people can get online at any given point?
Roughly.
And access his page?
We have the structure that we put together, as I mentioned, probably the largest and most sophisticated that's ever been assembled for an event, includes a huge number of machines placed on both coasts of the U.S. With a central center here feeding them. The capacity that we have put into place to ensure that the people who do want to enjoy the convention online can is unprecedented.
How much is all of this costing and who's paying for it?
AT&T, as you would imagine, doesn't disclose finances about any of our customers. And I would refer you to the Committee on Arrangements, who might be able to give you information.
Committee on Arrangements is paying for it. I don't know exactly what it's costing, but the Committee on Arrangements is paying for it. The Committee on Arrangements is paying for it, which is the entity the FEC requires the Republican National Committee to set up as the entity charged with running the convention. So the convention is paying for it.
Is this anything like the business with Amway where one large giver might be paying for the whole thing?
No, it's been part of the convention budget from day one. Somebody here may know what it's cost, but I don't. I'm having to plead ignorance, which I know is a very credible defense in my case. I just don't know exactly what it's costed. Let me just kind of close on the web page to say this. We have been very, very pleased and grateful for the way AT&T has taken this on to make it a spectacular project, and have no doubt that it will be. Ann Gavin, who's the communications director for the convention, has been the lead on this in work with AT&T. Bill Greener, who you saw earlier, our own internet operation, John Nicely in the back of the room, who runs our RNC website, and Lisa McCormick, who's our director of publications. A lot of people have done a lot of work here, and I think the product will show it, and we're very pleased. As some of you who I see more often, like Carl and John, know, one of the things that I'm very committed to is to try to give the voters unfiltered information.